Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 7th instalment of the Polyphony Digital Trophy. Round 7 at High Speed Ring, the 7th of 8 rounds, the penultimate round, the twilight hour of the season. And what an exciting one it is. See, back to the 90s JGTC style racing, and a bit of an announcement early on. Well, several announcements happened between last round and this round. The first of which being that we will be losing a driver at the end of the season, Jolt Langstadler. He is stopping racing full stop. Well, he's stopping GTRC, and it looks like he might be slowing down his racing, let's say. He's not stopping, but he's taking more time into his studies. So, good on him. Good on Super. We will miss him. He's been a good character, good driver for the league. But the other big bit of news, in more positive news, is this series is back for another season. So next season we will be racing in these cars once again. And to let you all in on a secret, I know what the calendar is next season. Will has shared the calendar with me, and it is a good one. It's going to be a very good season next season, but next season will be the last that we run in this format. And after that, who knows what the future will bring us? Well, once again, I think most people do know what the future will bring us, but wait until pre-season. Pre-season will let us, or the pre-season event, whatever it is, we'll be testing a new format, just as we did with this one, in between DTM Season 1 and Season 2. But for now, let's just focus on this season. There's not much longer left to go. We're racing at perhaps one of the most unique circuits in Gran Turismo, and it's a classic. It's one of the first circuits ever featured in Gran Turismo, the Gran Turismo Originals, and it really shows. It's a very old-fashioned circuit. It's just a bunch of banked corners, really. I mean, that's not really doing it justice, but like, you look at the corner layout, you've got two right-handers and the rest are left-handers. But something to watch out for is wall riding. We had this last season, we're definitely going to have it again this season. Are people going to wall ride? But let's not get ourselves stuck on that. People are definitely going to wall ride, that's for certain. Bear in mind, last season, this played as the finale. This time round, though, it is the penultimate round, because the finale is at none other than my favourite track in the game, Bathurst. But as always, it is Che Easton that leads out the qualifying session. And while he does his outlap, let's talk about the standings real quick. We've only got about a minute to do it because it is a fast lap time. So, standings, driver standings. Jake Witchell is still your championship leader with 351 points, just ahead of Will Sutters, 297 points. The gap has come down a little bit. But is it enough? Will's running out of time to do it. It looks like the favour is in Jake's hands this season. Dominic Kabinski, 268 points in third, 20 points ahead of Luke Clark in fourth. And then Adam Hands made a jump ahead of Ruben Thorejao and Tyler Davison, with just 9 points splitting the three of them. And then Stijn van der Hart is behind those. Stijn van der Hart, who's not racing tonight, so he will be losing points tonight. So will Project One. And speaking of Project One, where are they in the standings? Well, let's talk about the top first. Team Spirit, 619 points, first in the standings, way ahead of 515 Motorsports on 460 points. LCR 458 points, just behind 515. So good opportunity for LCR to pick up points tonight, I think it's fair to say. Project One, there they are, 346 points, just ahead of Nova Motorsports in 325 points. So Nova may be able to leapfrog Project One tonight. JTB 244 points and Ray Racing 108 points. But we're now on the lap times. I did miss the start of the lap, and we are going down to turn 2 with Ruben Thorejao in the McLaren F1 GTR, and this is a great car to watch on board with. It's the central driving position. Fun fact about the McLaren F1 GTR, or the McLaren F1 in general, the doors were inspired by a Toyota, or Toyota was the inspiration for these doors. It was the Toyota Serra. Had a 1.5 litre inline 4, I believe, with lots and lots of glass all around the car. But the butterfly doors that are on this car were originally from the Toyota Serra, or the inspiration for them. But enough about Toyotas, as we are rounding the final corner with Ruben, and it doesn't look like this lap is going to set the world alight. He's just been overtaken by a Toyota. That's Che Easton. But you're just seeing a little bit of what tonight is all about. Slipstream, as Adam Hands takes the fastest lap that time around simply because he had the slipstream. Now it's Dominic Kubinski, pole position, sitting behind his teammate Jake Witchell. Jake Witchell, by the way, P2. So these two running well together, working together, giving each other the slipstream. Will Sutter's not too far back behind them. Will Sutter's obviously could not get the lap together that time round, but these two are working together, and that's what you want to see. Dom carrying a bit of lag with him this time round. But yeah, Will Sutters is going to be gaining massively this lap. You see he's just closing up to the Polish driver in front of him. This is going to be a strong lap from Will. Keep an eye on him in the background, but we are still following Jake Witchell because he is improving as well without slipstream, bear in mind. You'd imagine that his teammate will push him a bit along these straights, but there you go, 4 tenths purple. So if you ask me honestly, what do I expect lap times to be honest, I don't know. It could change. Ooh, what's going to change drastically is Dominic Kubinski doing that. He's going to lose a lot of time taking that line. You get hooked up onto the top of that banking. You have to yank the handbrake to get pulled off of the curb. But Will Sutters there couldn't quite make the lap time that Jake Witchell did without slipstream. Will Sutters just in P4. Let's watch Adam Hands leading out a 4-car train going through turn 2. Takes a nice line through there. The high line is the fast line at most of the corners at this track. Not all of them, most of them. This track coming obviously after the weekend of the Daytona 500. Another race full of banked corners and slipstream fest. But Daytona 500 this year was just red flags, really. Because the Americans can't handle a little bit of rain. But let's hope for that not to happen tonight. I will let you in on a secret though. Rain is on the weather forecast. It will rain tonight. When it will rain, I don't know. I just know that it will rain at some point tonight, and it might be for an entirety of one of these races tonight. Taking inspiration from Daytona. Obviously not taking the red flags with us, but that was a nice lap there from Couch. There he is. Good improvement from Couch. He's got Che Easton in tow, giving him a little hand. Che off the back of his first win this season. So rejuvenated Che Easton, but he is on the mediums for all of tonight. Because he has to run those double mediums, and with one of the races being in the wet, the drivers know that if you have won a race last week, so that is Witchell, Sutters and Easton, if you won a race last week, you have to use the mediums all night, and then back onto, well, I say back, it's onto the wet weather tyres for the actual race. But there you go, Easton, he's on the softs obviously because it's qualifying, but he will switch to the mediums during the race. It looks like Hans has fallen back a bit because Hans is trying to go for the slipstream on Easton, so Couch is now the lead driver in this pack. We'll just find someone else to look at. Kubinski and Sutters are now fully working together. Witchell has fallen back behind them. Langstadler, the man in question I mentioned earlier, this will be his last season in GTRC for the foreseeable future. He says probably ever. And that will be a real shame. Obviously, he is a Constructors' champion. Won the last ever WTCC season alongside Joe Witt. And them two were a powerhouse team that season, I think it's fair to say. But yeah, Charlotte Langstadler, he will be missed. One more round to go after this one, and then that'll be it for the Hungarian of the grid. Tyler Davison, though, let's watch him. He's a bit out of position. He's finally got his livery. And, well, I shouldn't say what Will said it looked like, but it had a very graphic description of what that livery looks like. But Tyler's finally in the proper livery that he should be, and he's going 2 tenths up, almost 3 tenths. Luke Clark just behind him. Luke's really not finding his footing around this track. But in practice, he did look a little bit stronger than this. But I do know that McLaren is not the best around this circuit as it is, because Ruben is also struggling for similar reasons as Luke. And then Yannick is all by himself. So all the drivers that are by themselves haven't really set fast lap times yet. Jake Witchell, though, is just on the back of Couch, and I'm sure he's going to want to go for another lap. But he did that first lap, that pole-setting lap, that, you know, provisional pole, he did that lap without slipstream, so who knows what he could do with slipstream. So he's just pushing Couch along. Takes that corner nicely. Couch, on the other hand, did a slight tap of the wall there, but didn't look like it slowed Couch down too much, which on the other hand, he's 4/10 down on his personal best. Kabinski is now leading out a 2-car train behind him. That is both 515 cars in Che Easton and Will Sutters, so I'd imagine that they will disperse of him quickly, or they will use him to advantage. Either way, they are going quicker. Doesn't look like Kabinski is going quick enough for pole position, but we will find out in this final corner. He does take a very nice line through there. You want the high line once again through that corner, trying not to get too high up on that curb. Kabinski is going to cross the line. What's it going to be? Not quite. Will Sutters, though, does jump him. Che Easton as well sets a new personal best, and so does Couch, I believe that was, just set a new personal best. So Couch is on very good form tonight. Stark contrast to last week, but this is what I was saying in the commentary all of last week. You know, if you have a bad start, it can only go up from there. So impressive stuff from Couch as he's up in 5th at the moment. For now, we're just watching these three, the 2 515 drivers, obviously both race winners from last week. Both have to use the double mediums this week. 515 is a team on form, but I think it might be a little too late for them to win the Constructors now. But can Will Sutters gain enough on Jake Witchell to win the Drivers? Judging by this qualifying session, it's not going to be as easy as it looks. Tonight could be the night that we crown a Drivers or a Constructors champion. And if it's not tonight, it will definitely be next week. In between the races, I will actually check how much points you get for each position, because we might be able to calculate tonight if someone wins the championship. Or we could just say, if Will finishes far enough behind Witchell, he wins the championship. Should be pretty straightforward. Watch Adam. Adam is leading out a train of his own, I believe. So there's multiple trains on track. Well, say multiple, there's about 3. Yannick's train has got Luke. Yannick's train. The train that is being led out by Adam has both Nova drivers and Luke Clark in it, but it doesn't seem like they're quite up to Yannick, or up to Adam, should I say. Bloody hell, can't do it today. There you go, first man to finish qualifying is Zolt Langstadler, no improvement from him, that is P7. We look up front is Dominic Kabinski, he will be the next to complete his qualifying session. He overtakes Easton over the line, hoping for an improvement, but did not come off. Couch now, P6 by the looks of it for Couch. Davison, I don't think this would be an improvement for Davison. It didn't look like a good first half to the lap. It is an improvement. I'm completely wrong there. It's an improvement. It's P7 for Tyler Davison, but there we go. Your grid is set. And that is pole position for Jake Witchell after a lap where, for the most part, he didn't really have slipstream. So, impressive lap time from Jake Witchell. Will Sutters takes P2, and Witchell's teammate is in 3rd, Dominic Kabinski. Adam Hands P4 and Che Easton P5. So, good qualifying from Adam once again. And then it's Couch in P6. Impressive stuff from the newbie. P7 goes to Tyler Davison, and then P8 to Zolt Langstadler, P9 to Luke Clark, P10 to Ruben Thorejo, and P11 to Yannick de Kuiper. So no real big shocks other than Couch having his first proper nice performance of the season, which I'm sure he is very happy about. First of many to come, hopefully. I do apologise if you hear me drinking. I do have a very dry throat. We're about to go for the first race, and I would say any predictions, but this one's impossible to predict. High-speed ring is always impossible to predict. Here we are. We see the starting grid for the first of the three the first of the 3 races tonight. This is the standing start order. See, fastest first from qualifying. We have Jake Witchell first and foremost. 5 red lights. And we are away, and it looks like they've all gotten a pretty good launch. In the background, you see the McLarens come through as they usually do. Oh, Tyler Davison had an extremely nice launch there. But here goes the McLarens, and Will Sutters has jumped Jake Witchell, no surprise there. Witchell covering that inside against Couch, and they're already 3 wide going into this corner. Who is going to be first going through turn 2, the first proper braking zone? Will we see carnage into turn 2? That is Ruben Thorejo already contending for P2. This spells disaster all over it, but they've kept their heads clean. Good job from all the drivers there. Where's Dominic Kabinski, though? He's already fallen back. He's down in P10, P9 by the looks of it. So not a good start from the pole once again. But Witchell already finds himself in a 5-1-5 sandwich. His Couch driver has just gone round it in the background. There goes Couch. And oh dear, what a start for Couch. Great qualifying session. Has not started well for him in the race, and that might be race over. It looks like he's not getting that car turned around quickly. There he is. He's away now. But a thing with this track is if you're not in the slipstream of the cars around you, you are completely screwed. But speaking of slipstream, we'll go up ahead as Che Easton is helping Jake Witchell, pushing him along against his own teammate. See, Che Easton and Jake Witchell are two who do have history. They've been teammates in the past in other leagues. And Che making a statement, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, Che had to battle his own teammate last week. And Will was helping out another driver last week against Che. So I think this is genuinely Chubbs making a statement tonight. But he's now done it what he needs. So you now make the move on Jake Witchell. Side by side going through the S's. They're still side by side. They've left each other a nice amount of room. But Witchell was offline here, and now he has to move back onto the racing line. That's good stuff from him. So the order at the front changes. Witchell takes the low line. Very interesting. Has not worked out for him. Sutter's got a very good launch on him. Slipstream continues, and there's going to be a lot of this tonight. It will certainly feel at certain points that any position that they are in is completely meaningless. It just matters that if you're leading on the final lap, you will not win this race. That is generally how the rule works. Dominic Kabinski has fallen a little bit out of this train. It seems like he's had to battle Tyler Davison, I think that is in the background. He's also fallen out. Oh, here comes a GTR, and he's just pushed Jake Witchell into the wall. That is Ruben Thorejo with Witchell into the wall. Thorejo, big lapse in judgment there in the braking zone, and Witchell has lost out massively, gone from 2nd down to 7th. Thorejo giving back that position. Good sportsmanship there. But speaking of McLaren GTRs that have moved up to the front, there's Luke Clark, Thorejo's teammate, also made some big gains up to the front, and now he's in P2. But that has given Che Easton a little bit of a gap to run away with. You don't really necessarily benefit too much from having a gap to run away with in this, as everyone behind you works together, which I'd imagine they will. Yeah, that was very, very uncharacteristic from Ruben Thorejo. Just looked like he'd completely got it broken up, or overshot the braking completely. See, from the overspeed of the slipstream. But now we are seeing 2 trains going down the straight. It is 2 wide through the banking. 2, almost 3. Can Joel Langsdagler make it 3? He was trying to make it 3, and now all the cars fall out of their trains and file into 1, and Joel Langsdagler is the one that loses out this time round, obviously out of the slipstream train. Adam Hans taking the slightly low line, and Adam Hans is out. I thought that was going to happen. Adam Hans took a slightly lower line. He just got turned by, I think that was Joel Langsdagler there. Nothing the Hungarian could have done that time round, but brutal crash is going on here. It's a 5-1-5-1-2. Once again, 2 medium drivers up front. Dominic Kabinski is also on his set of mediums for the night, and he has made his way back up to 3rd. So Kabinski, following a poor start, has made his way back up there. So has his teammate Jake Witchell. He's in P4. So it is 5-1-5 followed by Team Spirit in the order at the moment. The 2 championship contenders for the constructors Is it too little too late though? I don't think 5-on-5 has enough time to gain the points they need to get on Team Spirit, but certainly if these positions stand, this is exactly what they need. Dominic Kubinski is closing in quickly on Will Sutters, and is he going to be patient? I think Dominic Kubinski is already going for that move on Will Sutters. Down the inside, oh, careful. He's made contact with Che Easton, and you'd imagine he'd give that one back. He has given the position back, but that is given Will Sutters the lead, and given the position to Jake Witchell. Luke Clark being patient behind Kubinski knows that he shouldn't probably make that move there. Yeah, clumsy move from Dominic Kubinski. Not as not to the same effect as Ruben Thorejos late braking, but still very easy to make that move around here. It's proving to be. Jake Witchell now also on the medium, so all of the top four are on the medium tyres. Luke Clark is not, but look at that soft tyre. Oh my word, look how much that has gone off on the front right of that McLaren. I think the medium tyre genuinely might be the tyre for the night, and there's no rule saying you can't use it all night. I think the drivers should have learnt this from last season, because last season I think it was the similar story. The medium tyre was the quick tyre. You know, it doesn't wear as much on the banking. But maybe some of the drivers here have forgotten that. Jake Witchell goes to the outside. You'd imagine Kubinski's going to push him. No, it's Easton that's pushing him. Kubinski just behind. Will Sutters loses out this time round, and Sutters almost puts his own teammate in the wall there. Easton forced to the inside. Sutters just lets him through. It's not worth fighting too hard. Langshadler's moved up some positions in the background, and again he's on the medium tyres. Seems all of the top six are on the medium tyres. The mediums is what you want to be on at the moment. Luke Clark has picked the wrong tyre. Luke Clark, Adam Hands, it looks like he might be fine to be fair on his tyre wear, but Luke Clark has made an absolute strategic blunder there. One that is very easy to make, to be fair, because you always, you know, the soft tyre is the soft tyre. You always want to be on the fastest tyre possible, but Luke Clark is finding out very quickly that banked corners don't work well with that front right. Jake Witchell now leads the race. We're at the halfway point of the race. I don't know when he took the lead. I obviously missed that one. Very sorry. I'll just drop my drink. Che Easton's now going for the move, and there's contact. Che Easton and Jake Witchell. Easton pushes Witchell into the wall. Now 3 wide as Easton lets that one back through, but now Sutters is your race leader. Oh, Dominic Kubinski on the inside. Oh, dearie me, he should not be going for that move. I think he realised maybe that one was accidental, but wow, don't go for that one, Dom. Still, it is a 4-horse race at the front. Kubinski falling back a little bit just again, but we'll catch up once more in the slipstream. Jake Witchell takes the low line. Jake Witchell door banging with Che Easton, but again not putting him in the wall, so good stuff from Witchell. It is 3 wide now between Witchell, Kubinski and Easton. Who's going to be the bravest? It looks like Witchell has lifted off so we can push Kubinski along. So these two teammates working together. But now there is a new challenger. Tyler Davison joins the fight. He's just pulled up onto the back of these 4. Still, Che Easton is the race leader. Tyler Davison just behind. Dominic Kubinski has made his way up into P2. Jake Witchell, his teammate, he's not having any of it. Jake Witchell is going to send it down the inside of Kubinski, and I doubt Kubinski's going to fight that too hard. And for half a moment I thought Tyler Davison was going to slip up the inside there, but he didn't. Jake Witchell now the next contender for the race lead. You have to say he is quite far off, and Che Easton is building that gap up. So Easton seems to be very quick around here. That Supra works well here, I know that. Sutters has fallen back a little bit. It's now got Tyler Davison to contend with, but Sutters is going for the option of 3 wide. He's not pushing him along, and Easton knowing that Sutters is behind him, moves down to the inside. It's now 2 trains going through turn 1. Which one does Kabinski pick? Kabinski picks the one with his teammate because his teammate's on the racing line, but Sutters just pulls to that racing line last second. That did not look very clean from him, to be honest. And Kabinski, I don't think, is very happy about that one. Kabinski last second pulled to the racing line and stopped Kabinski, or Sutters pulled to the racing line and stopped Kabinski in his tracks. Still both 515 cars in a Team Spirit sandwich at the moment. Che Easton the foremost of the filling, and Witchell the top bred, Kabinski the bottom. Going on to lap 10 now. Still order as it stands. I think Kabinski is slowly catching back up to Sutters, but that was a bit of an incident, I think it's fair to say. Tyler Davison is still just about in reach of Kabinski, but Scholt Langstadler is a bit in no man's land at the moment. He is being caught by Adam Hans, but look at them tyres, that's really not what you want to see. And while we talk about tyres, where's Luke Clark? Luke Clark pitted. There we go. Luke Clark was forced to pit, put on a fresh set of softs, and that's put him down to 10th. But yeah, softs were not the run. But Easton, he did just miss that. Easton is taking the lead, and there was a little bit of a bump there between Easton and Witchell, and Witchell's now lost 2 positions. So Witchell is now back with his teammate. It's all getting a little pushy around this track. But still, the 3 that won last week are the ones racing up in the top 3. Witchell just having to defend, or Sutters just having to defend from Witchell. Just go down for the 11th time down this straight. And here comes Witchell. Witchell knows that Easton's going to take that inside line, and there we go already. Easy move for Jake Witchell. Gets the slipstream off of Sutters' teammate. Now Kabinski's back in this one, just on the back of Sutters. Ooh, looks like Witchell had a slow corner there, and Sutters gained massively through that one. So they're going side by side into the S's. Is Witchell going to give this one up? He's not. Witchell goes down the inside. Sutters obviously has the outside line. That becomes the inside for the next corner. So Sutters will surely go through this time round, and he does. Still 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2 teams at the moment. Davison hasn't really involved himself with this fight too much. I wonder if there's a reason why. Maybe he's worrying about his fuel? Saying that, his fuel is the same as the other Supras on the grid at the moment, so not too sure why Davison hasn't involved himself too much with this. Maybe he just doesn't have the pace to keep up with these guys. Certainly not like him. Witchell has just made the move on Sutters. He's going to make the move on Easton. I'd imagine he'd probably sit behind Easton for a little bit. You don't want to make the moves just yet. You want to be in P2 on the final lap, so you can take that position as late as possible. And I'm sure Easton will realise that. Don't count out Kabinski, though. Kabinski hasn't really been able to do much in this fight yet, but he is still there. And all these drivers in front of Kabinski have in the back of their mind that if they win a race tonight, they've got double mediums again next week for the finale, should I say, for the finale, you know, the final round. They will have double mediums. Kabinski, on the other hand, he does not have much to fight for other than P2 in the standings, and P2 in the standings currently is the man he just overtook, Will Sutters. So the top 3 in the standings are 2nd, 3rd and 4th, not in that specific order, but it was that specific order for the majority of the season. But Che Easton is on an absolute charge at the moment after hurting his finger. We don't know if he broke his thumb or not, but he did something to his thumb. He is a completely new driver, and side by side, Kabinski and Witchell, and Easton decides to help out Witchell this time round. Very interesting. But Witchell, on the other hand, pulls out, and that's Kabinski that goes round the outside of Easton. Jeez, good move from Kabinski. Didn't quite make it work, though, but I'm sure Easton wasn't really expecting that one. So now Kabinski is up into second. Sutters side by side with Witchell once again. Witchell knows that he cannot hold it around the outside of that corner, and there we go. That's the move done again for Will Sutters. Sutters at the moment is fighting to keep his championship alive, but I don't think he's doing quite enough to do so. He'd have to perform an absolute miracle to keep his championship alive tonight. One position ahead of Witchell is not enough. We're on to the penultimate lap now, and it is Dominic Kabinski who takes the race lead. It's not where you want to be on the penultimate lap, because I don't think Dominic Kabinski is going to be in a great position for this. Neither is his teammate Jake Witchell, by the looks of it, unless he can perform some kind of absolute mega run on these last 2 laps. It looks like that this win might be going to one of the 515 drivers. Oh, Will Sutters is not being patient. Will Sutters is going for that race lead. So is Che Easton going for P2. Oh, Dominic, you can't go around the outside of this corner. This is just going to slow you and Che down and guarantee Will the win if you're not careful. They need to work together just for one more corner. We're just about to get onto the final lap of the race. And it is Will Sutters, your race leader, just ahead of Che Easton, his teammate. Che with a mega double slipstream. Well, he's got one slipstream and one bump draft. Kabinski with the double slipstream. Witchell might be out of this one. Someone who's definitely out of this is Tyler Davison, so it's all eyes on Easton and Kabinski. Easton goes for the outside. Kabinski is towed by Easton, and now Kabinski tries to go for that outside line. He doesn't quite have enough of his car ahead. Easton is now the race leader, just ahead of Kabinski, and that is Sutters under pressure from Witchell, and Witchell makes that move onto the inside of Sutters, and Sutters is now down into P4, Witchell P3, Kabinski P2, and he is in the prime position to take the overtake on Che Easton, but he hasn't gone for it. He hasn't gone for the dive. Kabinski running out of time to go for this move on Easton. It's the last lap and we only have 2 corners left to go, but it looks like Easton, following his last race win last week, is 2 in a row for Che Easton, winning race 3 last week, and now he's about to win race 1 of this week. Careful on the fuel, but I think he's going to make it. There he goes, Che Easton with the race win. Easton comes across the line, takes first, then it's Kabinski, then Witchell, then Sutters, then Davison. It looked like a photo finish there between Sutters and Witchell. Davison, then Adam Hans comes 6th. Jolt Langsadler in P7, Yannick Takaipa in P8, Ruben Thorejo in P9, and it's Luke Clark, Ruben's teammate, in P10, leading out the battle of the Lukes between himself and Luke the couch driver. What an end that was, but Che Easton takes not 1 but 2 wins this season now, just ahead of Dominic Kabinski. Just couldn't quite make the move. Maybe he should have gone for that overtake earlier in the lap, because once you get past the S's section, once you get past the S's section, it's really difficult to pass, but good work from Che Easton there. He takes the first win of the night. There we go. Dominic Kabinski in P2, and then it was a very, very close finish between Witchell and Sutters, but Witchell in the end was the one who came out on top. Sutters with the fastest lap. Tyler Davison in P5, just behind those two. So Tyler wasn't as out of it as I thought he was, but Witchell lost a lot of time overtaking Sutters the first time round, and obviously could not keep with his own teammate. Adam Hans comes home in P6, doing a very good job on those soft tyres, I think it's fair to say. P6. And then P7 for Jolt Langsadler. P8 for Yannick Takaipa, not a bad position from Yannick. P9, Ruben Thorejo, P10, Luke Clark, and then P11, Couch, after that very unfortunate lap 1 spin. But yeah, first race of the night is done. And we certainly saw a lot tonight. You've been missing Eurobeat in your ear. What do you mean? Dom, what do you possibly mean by that comment? Is Ruben being too loud again? Oh, it's helping, is it? Is it? Well, you happy I sent you that playlist now then? Dickhead. Yeah, what a start to the racing tonight. Very exciting one. But in the end, it was Che Easton that took the win on the very last lap. Dominic Kavinsky could not do anything to stop it. Yannick rejoins the lobby. I said on the penultimate lap that Dominic did not want to be the one leading, and in the end, that was the truth. But for now, we have 2 more races to go. And one of those 2 races is wet. I believe the next race will be the one that's wet. So not this one, just about to come up, the one after that. The rolling start with the reverse grid. But for now, we have the final standing start of the night with the reverse grid settings. And I said I'd take a check how the points work this season. But I believe it is the same as every other season. DTM, I believe, was the last one. Would it be PT regulations? The only one I can find is the DTM. So should we do it off of DTM points, are we? No, that's the DTM sign-up. Where's the regulations? Is this the regulations? This is the DTM regulations. There we go. So, points-wise, yeah, that was crucial that Witchell came 3rd ahead of Sutters, because that is big swing in points, and DTM is not the one to be racing off of. How do we find the Polyphony Trophy settings? Is it in calendar? Why is it impossible to find the settings? It's under sporting regs, is it? Sporting regs. Sporting regs. Thank you, Yannick. I was looking in PT regulations. Yeah, so it is a 2-point swing in Witchell's favour against Sutters. Bit more of that tonight, and he will be championship tonight. But I don't think... Yeah, Witchell will have to finish quite far ahead of Sutters in one of these races to become championship tonight, but certainly looks like the both championships could be wrapped up tonight. Looking at the points, it is 25 for a win, then it goes 22, 20, 17, or 19, then 17, or whatever it was. I've already forgotten what it was. I don't usually tend to look at standings too often. Here we go for the final, or for the final, yeah, the final. This is the final start for the false start grid, whatever you call it. And then we have one more race after this one. Five red lights. And we are away. And once again, Luke Clark gets a very nice start. So does Ruben Thorejo, his teammates. The 2 McLaren drivers taking off well. They lead going into... Luke is the leader of those 2, and you'd imagine that it'll probably stay that way. These 2 like to work together when they get into a rhythm. No need to risk anything. Luke leads through turn 2. Ooh, best line through there. Might have just been a bit of lag talk. And Sutters has just clarted Adam Hans out of the way. In the background there. Shall we watch this battle? Because all kinds of goings on seem to be going on. Sutters had to fight against a very heavily defending Tyler Davison into that corner. Sutters was on the grass. Sutters now leads out this train. Davison's a bit in no man's land, but still the front four stays the same. Yannick is the fourth of those front four. And then it's the two Lukes. These four, I'm sure, are going to work together for as long as they can to get away from last race leaders, because the leaders start at the back. These four obviously were the back four. Saying that, Couch is already going for a move. Couch is going for the lead. Couch takes the lead for, oh, does he? Luke Clark sends it back down the inside. He's still there. Inside turns into outside, and there we go. Couch does take the race lead. And I cannot remember if we said this last week, or whether it's even happened last week, but it looks like Couch is about to lead his first lap. Nothing can really stop him now. So we go. Couch leads his first lap in GTRC. Following a very strong qualifying earlier tonight, things are only going up for him. Luke Clark under a bit of pressure now from Yannick. It's under a bit of pressure, but it looks like Yannick is pushing him along, and they've got so much overspeed on Couch. And Clark this time around decides to push him because they know that Sutters is hot on their tails, and there he is, Will Sutters. Under a bit of pressure from Adam Hans now. It's 3 wide going into turn 2. Who will be the bravest? Who will be the latest to break? And it is Adam Hans. He's just jumped 2 positions there, has Adam Hans. Solid work from the Honda driver. He's already contending against Yannick. Can he go around the outside of Yannick Kuiper? Ooh, not quite, but he's got the inside for this one. And Yannick does a very nice job defending that. I have a quick question though. So Sutters is on the mediums. Which was on the mediums? Thorejo is on the mediums. Interesting. Davison is on the softs. Gabinski is on the softs. So some of these drivers have opted to go for softs despite seeing how bad they were last race. But what's happened to Che Easton? Easton's had some kind of error. Chubbs has done a Chubbs. Luke Clark is on the inside Couch, and Luke Clark takes that lead pretty easily. Yannick Kuiper just in tow, and that's Adam Hans all up on the curve there. Adam Hans is making some massive positions, and he's just about to contend Luke Clark for the race lead. Side by side through turn 2. Who's going to get the run? Looked like Luke Clark got the better exit there, and Jake Witcher was on Adam's inside, so he can't go there. 3 wide going into turn 3. Adam comes out on top, but Couch finds himself on the outside. Sutters as well is there alongside Jake Witchell. Witchell will now be on the inside of this battle between himself and Sutters is forced to pull out of that one. Couch, very bold move in the final corner, and Couch retakes the race lead. So Couch is not letting this one go, and all there's contact in the background, and that is Jake Witchell. Has just been spun around, but he saved that spin beautifully. Jake Witchell looks like he was spun around by Will Sutters. He saved that spin very nicely, though. That could have ended a lot worse for him, could have been in the pit lane, but yeah, clumsy incident between himself and Will Sutters there. Not the first time this has happened. Jake Witchell has now got to do all he can to get back up to the front. Luke Clark, though, defending from Tyler Davison. And Luke Clark not able to hang on to Tyler this time round. Tyler is very fast at the moment. Couch is still the race leader. Couch has led a couple laps now. Tyler is quickly hounding him down. Luke doesn't seem to have the pace around here. He's lost Tyler already. I think most of that is down to the car. Unfortunately, it looks like Ruben is also struggling. Luke trying his best to go around the outside. That is where the racing line is. And he gets a good run on Tyler there. Does he? No, that is Jolt Langshadler with a good run on Tyler. Tyler tries to dive down the inside, and Langshadler does leave him the gap. But Langshadler on the soft tyres. He's done a very good job keeping those tyres in good condition as well. Fast, quickly catching up to Couch. He did tap the wall there on the exit. But this is anyone's game at the moment. Certainly it's a battle more between the top three than anyone else, but Couch is controlling this race at the moment. He's doing a very good job as he does it. For those interested in football, Real Madrid are now 2-0 up on City. But let's stop looking about that as Langshadler has just overtaken Couch. The reason I mentioned that is I did say to Witchell before this, I said City are going to lose 3-0 tonight, and so far it's looking like it. 3-0 might be a good result for them. Fuck's sake. Langshadler now takes the race lead away from Couch. And there is a new contender in this one, it is De Kuiper. Anything goes now. Halfway point of the race. Maillard, 2 Brits and a Dutchie. And the first of the 2 Brits goes for the inside, but doesn't seem that line's working out well for him. And Tyler Davison's now just about to make the move on him. Who is Langshadler going to give the slipstream to? Langshadler goes to the inside, and it looks like he's giving Tyler Davison the slipstream. De Kuiper following with Davison. So Couch has just lost out a load of positions there. That's 2 positions. Langshadler has made himself a tiny bit of a gap between himself and Davison. That is closing very quickly, especially with the 2 Nova drivers working together. Now Langshadler is under all kinds of pressure. Does not have his teammate with him this season, where he has to fight against 2 teammates tonight. Oh, he doesn't have his teammate tonight, that is. Steinman to Hart, we didn't mention where he was. He's on holiday in Austria. Very jealous of that in the... Oh, God. I forgot where he said he was. Now I feel really bad. He's near, like, Brunswick, I think. I think that's a place. But for now, we're focusing on his teammate, Jolt Langshadler, in the twilight of his Gran Turismo, in the twilight of his GTRC career, if you want to call it that. Certainly, he's done enough seasons to warrant that title. He had a very nice result last night in the Super Formula race that we usually host before these. That was a P2 for Jolt Langshadler. Currently at the moment he is leading this race. He will want some nice results to end off his time racing, I think it's fair to say. Going into turn 2, and that's Yannick De Kuiper around. Oh, almost good save from Yannick. What a save. Drifting that like a professional. Seemed like he had a little bit of contact there from, I'm guessing, Couch maybe. Could have been Adam Hans, because Adam Hans has made up a lot of positions there. But yeah, Yannick in some kind of trouble there. Saved it very well done. But it's given Langshadler the gap he needs. And if these lot behind him keep battling, this will be a very easy one for Langshadler. But we've still got quite a bit of the race to go. 3rd left to go. It's far from over. As Adam Hans pulls into the slipstream. Speaking of Stein, he is in the chat. We were just talking, Stein, about where you are this week. You're in Austria, but which bit of Austria are you in? I completely forgot. Because currently your teammate's leading the race. So we're just talking about how he's not got a teammate to help him, whereas there's 2 Nova drivers both hounding down, and now Adam Hans. And in the background, that looks like Dominic Kabinski as well, alongside Couch. Langstadler doing a very nice job. Oh, I say that and he's just gone a little bit too wide there. Clipped the wall on the exit. Zugspitz. Ah, fair enough. You're in the Zugspitz Arena. What's the Zugspitz Arena, if I might ask? Is it a football stadium? If so, which team? I only know like 2 teams, and that's Rapid Vienna and RB Salzburg. Isn't there a team called Lokomotiv? I think there's a team called Lokomotiv. Adam Hans is pushing Langstadler along this time round, so the 2 Honda drivers working together. This is like season 1 all over again. Doesn't matter what team you're with, as long as you're in the same constructor as the car in front of you, you want to get points with them. And with those old point scoring settings from last season, this would be a 1-2 for Team Honda. It's an area around the mountain Zugspitze where we can ski. So not a football stadium, I see. Still nicer than where I am at the moment. I'm in soggy England and I've got to go to work in about an hour. Still, Langstadler doing a very nice job holding this one. I can't imagine Hans is battling him too hard, to be fair, but Langstadler is doing a nice job nonetheless. But those tyres are starting to fall off a cliff. Hans, on the other hand, is on the mediums, and they are looking fresh as ever. 2 Nova drivers are battling. Davison comes out ahead of De Kuiper. Now De Kuiper under a bit of pressure from Kubinski. And Kubinski tries it round the outside of De Kuiper. Ooh, contact there as Davison goes into the wall there. Now De Kuiper has a run on the inside of Davison. Oh, up front, I think I just saw that properly, and that is correct. Adam Hans got the run on the exit, and that is Adam Hans who takes the lead away from Scholt Langstadler. But, as I'm sure Dominic Kubinski can tell you from the last race, don't lead that last lap, because it can all come falling apart before the lap even starts. So Langstadler is in probably a better position than it at first looks like, but those tyres are not looking great for the Hungarian. Hans has got a very nice advantage here, pulling away even without slipstream. Langstadler's got to do everything he can to stick on the back of him. But we are getting into the latter stages of the race now. Dominic is lucky you're not here. Dominic almost won last race. It's the first time he's done good this season. Do you find it ironic that you're not here and he's not been hit off? Look, he's in 3rd now. Look at Dominic go. Just think you could have hit off that rear end by now, Stein. Jake Witchell, where's he come from? Jake Witchell, obviously earlier on, and he had that incident with Will Sutters. Spun round by Will, but now Witchell's up into 3rd. How has that happened? No, Stein, you couldn't possibly be the problem. Use the Sophie mentality. I'm not the problem here, it's everyone else. They just don't know what good driving standards is. But Jake Witchell has somehow found his way back up into P3, and this could be P2 by the end of this race. Unless he opts to help Langstadler. He knows Langstadler obviously is coming to the end of his GTRC run. Will these two work together? For now, it's all spaced out a little bit more, so we are on the twilight of the race now, the penultimate lap. And I think Adam Hans has got this one in the bag. I don't want to jinx it, but I think he's got it in the bag. Witchell catching up fast to Langstadler. Kubinski has fallen out of this one a bit. Yeah, I think Adam Hans has got this one all settled. there is a way that things could be shook up a little bit, and that is if Witchell decides to push Langstadler down at the start-finish straight. Maybe he'll give it a go. He's got nothing to lose, and if it doesn't work out, he'll just take him later on in the lap. Oh, this is not a great way to start it. Witchell almost overtaking him through the final corner. Here we go, as we're on to the last lap. Adam Hans leads the race. Scholt Langstadler holding on for dear life with that front right tyre. Are these two going to work together to try and catch up to the lead? It certainly looks like they might be. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Over a second to gain is just too much for Jake Witchell and Scholt Langstadler. So Witchell might have to settle for plan B, and that's just take Langstadler wherever he can. Langstadler, I don't think, is even fighting this anymore. Langstadler says, there you go, Witchell, you can have this one. There's no need to kill my tyre any further. So this is all on. Can Langstadler hold on to P3? Second between him and Kabinski. You'd think that he won't lose a second, but look at the state of his tyres. He is not going to make the rest of this lap very easily. But Kabinski is also having to battle for dear life ahead of Tyler Davison. Think Langstadler's pulled this one off. It's a podium for the Project One driver, but even more so, it is a win for the JTB driver. Up in front, that is Adam Hans. As he rounds the final corner for quite an impressive win, coming from quite close to the back. Here comes Adam in the orange NSX for the first time this season to win the race, and what an uptick of form from Adam. He's been good all season. Jake Witchell P2, Scholt Langstadler P3, and then it is Dominic Kabinski just outside the podium this time round. Tyler Davison just behind him, and then Che Easton, Yannick de Kuiper, Couch, Will Sutters making a huge blow in the championship with Witchell in P2, Luke Clark P10, and Ruben Thorejo P11. But I think that is game, set, match for the championship. All Witchell needs is one more good result, and I think that's it. But good result from Adam Hans. So he takes home, I believe, his first win for this season. So 9 winners this season. Don't believe Adam's won one yet. So solid stuff from the Brit. And Witchell in the end there did actually slow down to try and let Langstadler back through, but Langstadler, I think, gifted that position to Witchell nonetheless. Kabinski, there you go, he took P4 in the end, but the fastest lap went to Che Easton. And Will Sutters, as I said, huge blow in the standings for Sutters. Not what he needed whatsoever. We'll just check how the points work, but I think this is not going to look good for Sutters. Because Sutters has not only lost 2 points so far tonight to Witchell, he has lost... Let's find out. So it was a 2-point swing in the first race. And then Witchell with 22, Sutters with 9. Sutters was in 9th, so Sutters with 7th. So that is 17-point swing in the championship so far. 17-point swing. Shall we have a look at the standings? Yeah, if Sutters does not finish any closer in this race, this could be the championship over for Will Sutters. But it was a very outside chance in the first place anyway. But this is the exciting part. We're in the wet. It is rain time. What tyres will the drivers opt for, intermediates or wets? If I'm going to be completely honest, I think the intermediates are the tyres for this. Certainly Tyler Davison's got the wrong tyre on there. That's a soft tyre. A lot of them are going on the wets, but I think honestly in these conditions you want to be on the intermediates. Or unless it's heavy rain. Shall we have a look? Because we got this feature. Oh yeah, okay. That might be wet weather. Yeah, I think that those are the wet tyres. I don't know what you guys think, but that's very green. So who is on the inters? No one now. Everyone's on the wets. Except for Tyler. Yeah, I can't really make a decision because I'm not driving. Yeah, I honestly think inters, to be honest, Stein, because once the dry line starts to form, the inters is the tyre you want to be on. But how long will it take the dry line to form? And so the wets are only really good when you're, well, where it is now, to be fair, but you know, the moment the dry line starts to form, I don't think they want to be on those wet tyres. How much is City losing by now? Real Madrid has a 5-2 aggregate lead to Man City, so I don't think they're going through in the Champions League. I believe everyone's on the wet tyres. Except for Tyler. Tyler is going on the Inters. Go on, Tyler. Yeah, I think Tyler is the one that's going to take that risk. Is he? No. Oh, wait a second. Wait a minute. I've seen what Tyler's done. He's put the intermediates on the front and he's put the wets on the rear. I'm not sure the legality of that, I'll be completely honest. It stayed in the... Yeah, I'm not sure how legal that is. He might be getting a slap on the wrist after this race. Yeah, I really don't think that's legal, what Tyler's done there. Here we go for the third and the final race tonight. It's the rolling start, the final reverse grid, and it is Will Sutters who looks to be in the best position for this one. Brilliant pace all night, and he's starting third. But now it's raining, anything can happen as we are away. The race has begun. Luke Clark has gotten a very nice start there. Will Sutters is already under pressure from Couch. Obviously you get an advantage if you're on wheel starting on the rolling start, and I believe Couch is one of the drivers on wheel. Oh my word, you cannot see anything with the spray. Luke Clark and Roger Thorejo just piling in one by one, working together. I cannot imagine that these two are going to fight too hard. Oh, excuse me. Big yawn. Saying that, Luke Clark has just been handed the lead by the looks of it by Ruben Thorejo. And now Thorejo is under all kinds of pressure from the super driver behind. Let's see, does anyone remember the wet line around here? I can tell you one person that if they do remember the wet line, it's going to be Dominic Kubinski, because he was absolutely rapid around this circuit last season, especially in the wet. And I think if anyone's going to find that line quickly, it's going to be either him or Witchell, because Witchell, I also remember, was one that discovered it quite fast. I remember I was the one that figured it out before both of them, but I didn't tell them. Obviously I didn't tell them. But the wet line obviously is mostly important through the S's, and maybe everyone's figured it out. Luke Clark is still the race leader. There is battling going on in the background. Oh my word, two Supras side by side. Couch trying it around the outside. And Couch does it around the outside. That's Yannick in the wall. Oh my word, Yannick. Yannick keeps it in one piece. Oh, does he? Yannick's round. Oh no, no, no. Yannick and Adam. Oh dear. I thought Yannick could keep it in one piece. He was an absolute drift hero in the last race, but this time round he hasn't done it. Unlucky from Yannick de Kuiper. Now, Luke Clark still your race leader. He's cutting a hole in that rainy air for all to follow behind him, and now it's three wide going into turn one. Luke Clark is in the middle of those three. Couch on the outside. Che Easton has pushed his way through behind his teammate, and now it's 5-1-5, 1-2 again. But these two, as we found out, don't really like working together as much as you might think they would. And Sutters now leads the race. Easton just behind. Easton already a race winner tonight. Can he go for two? Easton, oh my word, snap through that corner for Che Easton. He almost goes off the circuit onto the grass. I think the drivers have figured it out. Sutters still leads ahead of Easton. Couch just in tow. Couch looking to have a little bit of a better race tonight. hasn't had a terrible evening. Clark and Davison battling now. Clark quickly losing positions. Davison on those illegal tyres. So Clark, I'm sure if he knew what the tyres that Davison was on, he wouldn't be fighting it too hard. Yeah, you are not allowed to mix compounds on the front and the rear. Or are you? Well, seeing as I know where the sporting regulations are now, let's have a look. Oh, the battling is going on, but Easton is desperately trying to make an overtake on Sutters. Sutters is leading this one out quite nicely, though. So I've just had a look at the standings, and to be fair, I don't think it's been included in these regulations, so I doubt Tyler knew that. I doubt he even knew it was illegal in the past, but what Tyler's done with his tyres there used to be illegal for a long, long time. In these regulations, though, it has not been included. And I'm not going to call Tyler a mastermind for that, because I doubt he even knew the regulations were a thing. But you got to have lucky this time. Is the tyre mixing going to work for him, though? He's just been overtaken by both Team Spirit cars. Dominic Kubinski, the foremost of the two. Dominic, I know he has good pace in these conditions around this track. Saying that, he's just gone a tad too wide there, and he's going to give up the position to Witchell. Or is he? They're going to go side by side into the final corner, and yeah, Witchell's going to take that one. These two cannot afford to battle. Don't go too wide, Dom. Someone did go too wide in the background there. I think that was Thorejo. Couch is doing a very nice job here. But it's the two 515 cars who are pulling away pretty quickly. Such seems to be having less of an effect in these conditions. The rain is not slowing down, and the dry line is not forming. Oh, both into the wall there. That was not too good from the 515 cars, but it didn't look like they lost anything. Easton is catching up to Sutters. Easton wants two tonight. He already got one. Sutters has got very nice pace in these conditions, though, I think it's fair to say. Easton's really struggling to keep up with him. And to be fair, Kavinsky, who I knew had good pace in these conditions, hasn't really set a fast lap yet. So maybe things have changed. Couch is doing a nice job. That's one thing that is for certain. Couch is doing a very nice job at the moment in these conditions. Couch, obviously not a man who's unfamiliar to low traction conditions. I did find his Instagram the other day, and it's full of different clips of drifting, which I do very much like, as a former drifter myself. These conditions are the ones that I love most in racing, so I do perfectly get it. Couch is doing a nice job. Kavinsky really struggling, so excuse me. Oh, saying that, Couch has just gone way too wide there, and Kavinsky's made that move. As I yawn, Kavinsky makes the overtake, but look at the gap he has to close to get to the front too. We're at the halfway point of the race now, and Kavinsky's got an absolute mountain to climb. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure if he can climb that mountain, because the peak is a very high one indeed. Will Sutters setting another 1:14.3, so his pace has slowed down a little bit. I think his fastest lap was done with slipstream, but still, the laps without slipstream have been pretty impressive, and Couch is fighting back for that third place. Kubinski, though, he knows he needs to clear Couch quickly. He probably feels he has more pace than him. Kubinski, another driver who's dipped his toes into drifting in the past, so I'm sure he also gets along with these conditions quite well. Kubinski goes for the inside. Couch does a very nice job holding the outside, but the outside is the line you want in these conditions, because there's nice traction on the marbles that are loose there. And oh, Couch, careful, careful, careful. Oh, dearie me. Couch had a very big snap on the exit there. He managed to keep it in one piece, but he's down to P6 now. Now it's the two Team Spirit cars who pull ahead of Couch. Surely this race is going to get interesting soon. These two will work together to get back up to the front. Might be a repeat of race one, just this time it's raining. Which, although knows he has to play the team game if he wants any chance of getting a much better position than he is in right now. He realises that both of these guys could be on the podium if he just works with Kubinski. Jay Easton is making all kinds of inroads on Will Sutters at the moment. Jay Easton not hanging about Dominic Kubinski. I thought he spun in the background, that's why I jumped to him. But he's keeping it in one piece. Easton's running out of laps to get Sutters. Easton's very quick in these conditions. So is Sutters. 13.8 for the 2 laps in a row now for Easton, but Sutters with 14.1. Here comes Chubbs. Which way is he going to go? Chubbs goes for the outside. Or does he? No, he goes for the push. Maybe he realises that battling Will is the exact thing that the two cars behind him need. So to ensure that they both get a good position, battling is not the good thing to do at this moment. But still, for Team 515, this is not too bad position to be in whatsoever. Two cars up in the top two. We've seen this a lot since that Toyota Supra faced its most recent buff. Oh, Will Sutters almost clipping that wall there. Sutters is picking the pace up now. That or Easton has fallen back, but I believe it is Sutters picking up the pace. Yep, there we go, 13.8. So this battle is going to go on for a bit. Saying battle, they're not really fighting too much, they're just pushing to get away from the cars behind, and they're doing a very good job of that. But Easton, I'm sure in the back of his mind, wants to go for two tonight. And already he's gone for that outside line on Sutters. Sutters, though, dives down the inside, and they've both gone extremely wide there. Camera couldn't track him. Sutters retakes the race lead. And Easton slots back behind him, but I imagine this is going to go on for pretty much the rest of the race now. That kind of battle, though, certainly not a good precursor for Chubbs. If Chubbs wants to take this lead at the very end of the race. Kubinski, though, seems to have broken away from his teammate, but he's not quite catching Chubbs either. He's kind of a bit in no man's land. which is a better place to be than you'd probably first imagine. But we're back up the front now. Easton versus Sutters once again. Easton goes down the inside. Sutters, oh my word, little clip there as Sutters is tagged on the inside. Almost pushed wide, but luckily nothing too serious. All this does mean, though, is with these cars between Sutters and Witchell, the championship is still alive for Will Sutters. But it's like a half-dead, barely beating heart. But it is there. Still just about going. And if it finishes in these positions, stay this way going into the final round next week. As will the Constructors' Championship, just about staying alive, but once again, not really too possible. Go on to lap 13 of 15 now. It's 5-1-5, 1-2, Team Spirit 2-3. And Will Sutters wants to be the number one of that 1-2. Che Easton slotting in politely behind him, saying, okay, I see your game. No hurry, no stupid moves between these two. Certainly not for another lap or so. They've got a big enough gap to the cars behind that they can do whatever they want in this battle for the lead at the end of this race. Oh, both go wide again. Cameras are really struggling to track him as they go through that corner. It's quite funny. Sutters is taking a different approach to Easton through these corners. Whether Easton realises it or not is to be found out, but a nice benefit that that car has, certainly compared to the Honda and the NSX, is it has a turbocharger with anti-lag. So you can sit it in the lower gear, or the higher gear should I say, sit it in lower RPM so you spin up less and still get the power from the anti-lag turbocharger. So that is what Will is doing at the moment. He's shifting very early on the exit of these corners, getting as much traction as possible, and I don't believe that Easton is doing the same, certainly by the sound that his engine is making through these corners. But Easton goes around the outside at turn one and Easton takes the race lead, but is that a little bit too early for Che Easton? Easton going for two in a row. Oh, two in a row? He's already got two in a row. He wants third of the season, second of the night. Oh, Sutters might be able to make it clean around Easton there. But is this the play that Easton wants? Sutters deep down knows that he cannot be leading going on to the final lap, but he is leading going on to the final lap, and the final lap is just two corners away. Will Sutters leading ahead of Che Easton. This is the final lap of the night, and it is the two 515 cars who are battling once again, like it was last week, like it is this week, like it's been since those cars have been improved. And Che Easton looking for a third race win of the season. Will Sutters looking for God knows how many he's had so far, but he'll be looking for his next one. It'll all be decided going into this corner, and Che Easton takes the inside. Will Sutters falls to the outside. Che Easton tap on the side of their cars, and now Easton has to go defensive because Sutters can just go straight back for that move, and he is going straight back for that move. Dips his nose on the inside, lets him know he's there, but Easton gets the better run through that corner, and now Easton still leads. Sutters has the chance to go for the move once again. Sutters picks the outside. That's where the grip is. Easton knows that. Easton pushes him as far out as possible. Easton looks like he's going to pull this one off. Covers it well through that corner, makes Will's life more difficult to get him through here, and it is Che Easton who's still leading this race. A little slide on the exit there, but still not enough to spin him out and to give Will the lead. Will trying desperately to dip his nose in wherever he can, but still Che Easton is just about ahead. Will Sutters goes down the inside of the final corner and he's not got the run. Che Easton takes home his third race win of the season. What has happened to Captain Chubbs? He is completely changed now, and that is 2 wins tonight, third one of the season. Will Sutters P2 keeping that championship alive. Jay Witchell P3 fastest lap, and Dominic Kabinski P4. Oh my word, Tyler Davison, P5. And Rima Thoreo with a very nice result in P6. Luke Clark, can he hold on to P7? No, he can't. Scholt Langstadler takes him over the line. Langstadler just about jumps Clark over the line there. And then it is De Kuiper, Couch, and Adam Hands. But Captain Chubbs, what has happened to Che Easton this season? He hurt his finger. He spent a week with commentary with me. And now all of a sudden he's come back and he's winning races left, right and centre. That is 2 race wins tonight. His 3rd race win of the season. Solid work from Che Easton. Wow. Great stuff. But Will Sutters comes home to complete the 1-2 for 515, and he keeps that championship just about kicking between him and Jake Witchell, but it's looking more and more impossible for Will Sutters to pull this one back. Witchell has had an absolute dominant season, and Witchell and Team Spirit as a whole has had a very dominant season with his teammate in 4th there. They're certainly lagging behind a little bit in this latter half of the season, but I don't think it's anything too much that they cannot deal with. Tyler Davison comes home in 5th once again, not on illegal tyres. I thought he was on illegal tyres, but he's not on illegal tyres. There's nothing in the rules that says he cannot run those tyres. And then it is Ruben Thorejo in P6. Scholt Langstadler just about edging out Luke Clark to the line. What a photo finish that was. And then Yannick De Kuiper in P9, Couch P10 after that. Unfortunate spin. He was doing really well before that, though. Adam Hands in P11. But yeah, wow, what a night of racing we've just had. 3 amazing races. And there's only more to come. Not much more, though, because we are onto the final rounds next week. Next week at Bathurst, my favourite track in the game. Personal favourite, I'm sure, to many others on the calendar. And a personal, most hated track to others. But don't forget about the GTRC. We are on the final round next season. Then we'll have a couple of weeks off at the pre-season round. The pre-season round, which has been announced, will be in the 2008 Super GT cars. But for now, let's focus on the race going into the last round. Both championships still just about on the line. Who can take it? We'll see you next week. Cheers for tuning in, everybody.